And this time it's the amazing, fantastic Karen, who I met. Oh, it's been a lovely story, and we talk about it on the podcast itself. So I recommend all of you check out Karen's Airbnb, stay there if you can. And we are coming up on almost a year to this podcast. So I just want to say thanks already. Hopefully we'll do something special for the year anniversary. Thank you for listening to the podcast in these crazy times where stories become even more important. Subscribe to the podcast, stay in touch, let me know any thoughts, questions, ideas. I love to hear them. Now, before we get going this week, I'm actually in Ireland, and I've decided that I'm going to open up a new pharmacy here, and the pharmacy is only going to sell suppositories, and we're going to call it Just for the Crack. Well, there we go. Thank you very much for listening, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.
So tell a story, one that is true. Yeah.
Maybe there's nothing actually happening.
Maybe there isn't. Maybe there's just nothing going on in the background and it's just a void of emptiness and silence. My brain's kind of busy, but I like it when it's not, because when it's not busy, I feel very connected.
Well, welcome back to The World is Storytelling, and welcome to The World is Storytelling, Karen.
Thank you very much, Ronnie. It's lovely to meet you. Really is.
Likewise. And I will explain to the listeners where we are. We are in Karen's kitchen. 2 days ago, and I was looking for somewhere to stay, give or take, near Hay-on-Wye for a workshop, which ended up being a great success in some ways, a absolute farce in other ways. No one showed up. But I was looking for somewhere to stay. I found this place in Airbnb. It looked nice. It was cheap. And now I'm here and think, how the hell is it so cheap? This is a 5-star hotel with 5-star host. Mind blown. But you've gone far beyond any Airbnb host I've ever met before. So I'm very thankful for that. And you were also sharing a little bit about yourself. And I'd love to hear more. Tell us a story.
Okay, so where do I start? Would I describe myself as getting bored easily? I don't think I would. I think that's how I've lived my life, as just out of curiosity. It's one of my, I would say, it's my core values. And it's not a conscious core value. It's curiosity that drives me forward. Is that really, I guess, here we go. So my daughter was very into horses a long time ago. And I was watching my daughter ride and listening to her instructor talking about feeling into the horse and how a horse is an extension of you as a human being, and that they feel all your emotions, they feel your energy, and you can just ride your horse with energy. Yeah. Anyway, so all this kind of got me into the world of kind of energy, and apart from other, things that we alluded to before, and really seeing, out of curiosity, how I could affect an animal's behaviour just by my tone of voice and my presence and my energy. So I wandered, I put my raincoat on, it was hoofing it down outside, but I just wanted to get out. I needed daylight, that's what I needed, not sunlight, I needed daylight. And I wandered down the track to the sheep, and I stood. And originally, as I arrived there, they all bolted, as they do, sheep. Oh, scary person, run away, run away. And I thought, well, I'm just going to stand here and see what they do. That was the first thing that I did. Yeah. And they started being curious. So I watched them kind of, start to walk towards me, and some were kind of like, not sure, running away. But I stood there, stood my ground, and I just projected what I thought was calmness and tranquility. And I just looked at these sheep, and they just slowly started to walk towards me. And I was watching their ears, and I was watching their faces, and they were looking at me, and some of them were chewing. It's like watching a crowd of people, maybe Americans going, chewing the gum. I was like, oh, okay, we've got some American sheep here. No, joking. You might say that.
Thanks to the American listeners.
There's some interesting sheep who were chewing their stuff. It was almost like, yeah, who are you, dude? And then I just started talking to them. And I was half inclined to run back to the house and go and get my phone and kind of look with my phone and just capture that moment of all these sheep literally trained on me, as if they were my captive audience, listening to my every word. But it was just such a beautiful moment of curiosity, and just really connecting. Does that make sense?
It makes a lot of sense, and it's almost like dancing tango.
Yeah.
I don't know, do you dance tango?
No, I've watched tango. I've seen it live in Buenos Aires many years ago.
Oh,
It was
amazing.
something quite spectacular. Yeah.
You know, it's this intuitive connection that you build up with your partner when you dance tango.
Nature, what's around me. Yeah. My grandson often brings me newts when he comes to stay that we find in the garden. He's curious. Yeah, look at these newts coming on. I might put them back. Don't bring them to the daylight. They need the dark.
What was the day in your life where you felt the most connected in that way that you've just described?
Well, I tell this story quite a lot because it was one of those things. I was in the corporate world and we were sent off on a senior management development programme into Lancashire.
Okay.
Beautiful setting. There were maybe 8 of us. They positioned us out on a hillside, out of sight of each other, undercover, with nothing. No phones, no books. They did give you a pencil. They gave you an envelope.
Yeah.
With a piece of blank paper in it that you could write some thoughts on. Yeah. We sat out there for probably 6 hours. Nothing, no distractions other than sheep that you could see, the grass that you were sitting on, the cover that was covering you and keeping you from the elements, but it was open, and you were in your thermals and your anorak. And just sat there, nothing. And I think originally I thought, oh gosh, I'm going to be so bored. I was so bored, I've got nothing to occupy my mind. And eventually that exercise came to an end. And we went back to the office space. We were each given an individual coach for a number of coaching sessions. And what struck me was the clarity of mind that I had for about the next 3 months. It was a long time. It had the most profound effect on me. And what I ended up doing was planning my way out of corporate life. And I was gone within a year, and I'd set up my own consultancy in human resources. When I was told that my son had been killed and completely flipped my lid, and then literally shut down and didn't feel, literally didn't feel really any emotion at all. I couldn't connect emotionally with anything or anyone. It was like I was dissociated, just watching life go by. Even though I was functioning, I could go out and have a laugh with my friends and what have you. At the moment my son died, my husband said, "Where do you want to be?" And I said, "I want to take me to the horse." Went to the horse and I sat with the horse. Not my horse, my daughter's horse. But I love this horse, and I just felt that was the only space I could be in. Interestingly, why? When I think about it now, the horse just feels with you. There's no judgment there. Yeah, there's nobody trying to rally you into a come on, pull yourself together. And for a long period of time, I felt that I needed to be outside to connect with nature, to stand outside in the dark, to watch the moon in all its perfect glory reflect off the pond in my garden and shed beautiful moonlight around me. And I would take myself off to the sea because we lived abroad and I could, and just be in the sea, because sea to me was like medicine. And it was people that I couldn't be with. And eventually, we think about the light. I found a chink of light and started to step into the world again, but on my terms. I couldn't do with people asking me questions or placing demands on me. But nature doesn't do that, unless you're, when nature's really bearing down and throwing their toys out of the pram. But even then, my daughter can find exhilaration in pounding rain. Yeah.
It's a Leonard Cohen song, isn't it?
I don't know, is it? I do like Leonard Cohen, but that's not one that I'm familiar with.
I'll play it for you afterwards. It's
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful phrase. There's a crack in everything. That's how the light gets in.
This is just funny because
Tell us. Go on.
I can drop pound coins into a champagne glass from my butt cheeks. 100% and get it every single time.
Explain the
We have to position the pound coin.
Yeah.
And it goes, it's intuitive, yeah? So I know intuitively where to position it.
So
And
you're
I
not looking?
I'm fully closed. I just stand.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I just stand. Pop it just, where it just,
On the
it's
shelf,
not too, just on the shelf, not too far, because otherwise I'll get stuck. Got a low slung hammock these days. And then you just position yourself, literally, over the champagne glass, which is,
Not very big, yeah.
not very big at all, and just gently let the butt cheeks go. And it just pings in, just like that.
Well, that's fantastic. And thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing all of your stories. And thank you for sharing your house.
Wow. And do you know, that's the beauty of Airbnb, isn't it? It's just a surprise around every corner. It's been a pleasure to meet you, Ronnie.
Likewise.
Oh,
Thank
gosh.
you so much.
And I'm going to be following you, looking and seeing what you're doing. And gosh, I'm fascinated by your creative storytelling. And obviously, I'm going to buy a book.
And you listeners should also buy the book.
Yeah, absolutely.
now, yeah.
Absolutely.
And you should also come stay at Karen's Airbnb.
Absolutely.
Some say the old ruins in the sand tell us every story will come to an end. But my dear, we can live what we tell. We are storytelling animals.